Hi, welcome to Mr. Darcy Cooks. I'm Mr. Darcy, and today I'm going to show you how to make my favorite chocolate chip cookie recipe. I think that everybody loves chocolate chip cookie, and this recipe is super easy. I'm going to show you a few tips and tricks on how to personalize it and get that perfect chocolate chip cookie that everybody loves. The ingredients for this recipe is 140 grams of unsalted butter, which has been softened. When I say softened, I want the texture of the butter to squeeze through my fingers. If you don't have time to bring the butter up to room temperature, what you can do is place in the microwave, put on inverted cook for about 1 to 2 minutes. Then have 140 grams of brown sugar, 110 grams of caster sugar, 1 egg which has been lightly beaten, 250 grams of plain flour, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 3/4 of a teaspoon of bicarb, 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt, and 200 grams of choc chips. The first thing that we're going to do is beat our butter and sugar together. I've placed both brown sugar and caster sugar in here. We're going to beat it for about 1 to 2 minutes until it becomes pale and soft. If you don't have a KitchenAid or a stand mixer, what you can do is still use a handheld mixer or even a wooden spoon. We're going to place it on a low speed. So this is the consistency that you're looking for. It's been lightened a little bit. It's really soft and workable, but it's not fluffy. We don't want the batter to get fluffy because when we go to bake our dough, that's just going to deflate once it cooks, and it's going to result in a really chewy, thin cookie. Next, we're going to add the egg. The reason why I beat the egg before I add it into the mix is so that when it gets combined, it's going to combine evenly. If you add the egg in whole, then that means you're going to get more yolk and more egg white in different parts of your batter, and it's going to take longer for it to combine. You only need to combine this for about 1 minute or so, just until it's evenly. But just give the batter a bit of a scrape down, just to make sure that it is mixed through evenly. And I'll just place this on for another few seconds. That's perfect. Now we'll add our dry ingredients together. So to the plain flour, we'll add in our baking powder, our bicarb, and our salt. And we're just going to whisk this briefly, just to mix it together and aerate it a little bit. Now we're going to fold in the flour into the wet mix. Just use a spatula, and what you're going to do is put the spatula down to the bottom and then lift it up and fold it over. You're essentially pressing the flour and the wet mix together just to form a soft dough. You don't want to do this with the beater, the stand mixer or the electric beater. The reason is just so you have a bit more control over the consistency with the batter. It's starting to come together now. So that's enough. We'll now add in the chocolate chips, and we're going to repeat doing that. So just fold in the chocolate chips. You can even use your hands now, because the batter's quite thick. And squeeze it together until it's all evenly combined. And there's your cookie dough. It is really versatile, so you can change the flavors and create your own variations. You can use a combination of chocolates, like white chocolate chips as well as dark chocolate chips. You can even include nuts in there as well. Chocolate and walnut, almond, pistachio, it all works. One thing that I've made before is using camel chews, like the Werther's camel chews, chopping that up and placing it in the dough along with some pecans, and that's been a really good combination. So really play around with it, make it your own, get a little bit adventurous because it's a really great recipe to use and play with. Next we're going to weigh out the dough. So I weigh it out to 60 grams. You don't have to weigh it, you can eyeball it if you'd like. It's just the best way to get more consistent cookies across the whole batch. And then you just compact it into a ball. I've just spaced them out on the tray just so they've got enough space for them to spread out and that they're not going to collide and stick together. Just bake it at 160 degrees for 12 minutes. You know the cookies are cooked when they're firm, but the middle is still a bit soft. And just let the cookies cool on the tray for about 5 to 10 minutes, and then they're good enough to eat. Thanks so much for watching my cooking video. I hope you get in the kitchen and give it a go and make yourself some delicious chocolate chip cookies. It's a really great recipe, and feel free to personalize it and play around with it. That's what food's all about, is just getting creative and expressing it and creating something delicious. I'm Mr. Darcy. This is Mr. Darcy Cooks. Thanks so much. See you next time.